So Xiaomi has an AI model called MiMo, and if you're asking me why, I guess the answer is why not. And also Xiaomi has lots of gadgets, and I think at some point they might incorporate this MiMo AI model into their phones, tablets, laptops, and even the Xiaomi car. And also recently they just released a new model called MiMo version 2 Plus, and this model is seemingly, at least from the internal benchmarking, very close and sometimes even beating some bigger models like DeepSeek, Kimi K2, Cloud Sonnet, GPT-5, and even Gemini 3 Pro. So for an open source AI model, this is quite impressive, and obviously this comes with some features like reasoning, coding, and agentic behaviors. So the question is, how do you actually get this model running on your computer? Well, right now, there is one tool that I do recommend if you want to download and run any model from Xiaomi, which is the MiMo models on your computer. So the tool that I do recommend is LM Studio. You can navigate to lmstudio.ai. And you can download and install this program normally on your computer, and this is one of the best tools for running an open source and local AI model. Now after that, after you have downloaded and installed LM Studio on your desktop computer, you can open the program normally, and you'll see something that looks like this, assuming that you have finished the onboarding process, I guess. So basically it looks like this. Now we need to download a model, an AI model, which is from Xiaomi. So to do that, you can click this discover button and you can type the name of the model, which is MiMo. Now at the moment when I'm recording this video, the model of the latest model from Xiaomi, which is the MiMo version 2 Flash, is not yet available in I forgot the name, LM Studio, sorry about that. It is not yet available in LM Studio because the format is still in Safe Tensor, and that's not the format that is supported by LM Studio. So maybe we have to wait a bit more until someone or some organization will convert or optimize this format into something that can be used in LM Studio. Again, it is still very new. That's why we don't have that option yet, but I'm hoping that when you're watching this video, you'll have the option to download the MiMo model on your computer, the version 2 I mean. Anyway, let me just continue. So given that we don't have the option for the MiMo version 2 Flash, I'm going to be using the previous version, which is something that has been released many months ago. So I'm gonna go with the MiMo with 7 billion parameter. So there are plenty of options. These are some Xiaomi MiMo models that were optimized and quantized by the community. Now you can select any of them, but I'm gonna go with the option from Jedis, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but this is the name basically, and you can select the variation that you want to use on your computer. Now make sure that you got this thumbs up telling you that, hey, this model can be operated on your computer. And if you see something like this, like likely too large, then it might not be able to run properly on your computer. And generally speaking, the bigger the model, then it's going to be a lot smarter than the smaller models, generally speaking. But of course, you have to find the sweet spot that is appropriate for your system. Now, in this case, apparently the 7 billion parameter, for this version, basically the 4-bit quantization is perfect for my computer. So I'll select that, and I'm going to download the model to my computer. Now here, there are so many versions or variations of this model. There is also the Fusion model. It has this VL in the name, so that's a Fusion model. And there is also a model for robotic, like this one. So you have to be careful when downloading the model that you actually want to use, especially if you want to have an experience similar to ChatGPT. Then I do recommend to actually do some research about the naming convention about the MiMo models, and you might want to check the description about the model, see what is the meaning behind the naming, because these letters and numbers are not random. They actually mean something, and you might want to double check and just make sure that you are downloading the model that you actually want. Now, in this case, I just downloaded the model for LM, just a regular AI similar to ChatGPT, so I should be able to just have a conversation normally with this MiMo 7B RL model. Now, this process might take quite a while, so I'll just skip a word and I'll show you the result, and I'll show you how you can actually use the model. Okay, so the model has been downloaded to my computer, and I can click this button that says use in new chat, and then the model will be loaded into the system memory or perhaps the GPU, depending on the system that you are using at the moment. Now, I have NVIDIA GTX 1660 with 6GB of RAM, so this model is quite comfortably running on my computer. So let's say I want to say something like, "Hi there, what can you do?" Okay, just wait. It is a thinking model, that's why it's going to think before answering the question. Okay, it might take quite a while. And by the way, this model actually supports the Chinese language. In fact, the bulk majority of the training data was actually from the Chinese language, Chinese content. So if you speak Chinese, I think this is also a great model to try. And by the way, if there is anything that you want to change on this model, like perhaps you want to change the AI prompting system instruction, you might want to change the other setting like the temperature, the number of tokens, the top case sampling, etc. You can open this settings menu, and you can also apply some sort of permanent settings for the model. You can click this button that says my models, and you can click this gear icon on the model that you want to modify, and then you can apply those settings directly in here. But on the previous setting, it was only applied for this particular conversation. So again, if you want to apply the setting globally, then you have to go to this My Models menu and then apply the settings directly from here. But anyway, let me just continue. So, okay, it is able to answer the question, even though the thinking took quite a while, 31 seconds just to answer this simple question. Now, let's say I want to ask something else. Can you tell me the 3 steps that I can do to start my upcycling business? All right, let me just send a message. So this model do support something called agent. So you can use AI agents, like you can, use this model to run certain tasks, like it can open a browser, it can navigate to the web, do a lot of things for you, and can get the most relevant data from the internet. And also there is a feature in LM Studio that lets you implement DuckDuckGo search. That is something that I have talked about on my previous video. So even though this is an offline AI model, you can use it to get some data from the internet, so you can get the latest information similar to when you're using ChatGPT or Perplexity, but it is running locally on your computer. And of course, you have every single control. If you want to make the AI to behave in a certain way, it is up to you. It is open source. All data and settings are available. There is nothing hidden here. Okay, so this is the answer. I mean, it's not slow, but also not very fast. But yeah, that's basically how you can download and run an AI model from Xiaomi, and how you can actually get the model running on your computer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. I wish you a great day ahead.